Hello, good afternoon students. Am I audible? So please check and please tell me so that we can start our session. Yes or no? Okay. So in our micro listing of topics, what we did? So we did about ancient and medieval, right? So if you remember this sequence, then half of work is done, because directly in UPSC sometimes you can get question regarding arrange them in ascending order or descending order. Especially there are some important events in your modern history, like for example Swadeshi movement, or else Surat split, or civil disobedience movement, or like that. They will give you 4 or 5 important movements, and they will ask you to arrange in ascending order, descending order. So from that point of view, this is very important, like knowing like which event happened and which time. So timeline is very important, right? So we did with this ancient and medieval history, and now we are going to see our modern history. And I already said about what is the importance of this micro listing of topics also, right? So now let us see modern history part. So modern history, what do you remember or what do you recall whenever I say this word modern history? So please tell me. What do you recall when I say about this modern history? So actually this modern history start with decline of Mughals, right? So we will be studying like major Mughals, Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. So this part will be from our medieval, but from modern we will be starting with later Mughals. Okay, so what we will be starting with? We will be starting with later Mughals. So from here we are going to start our modern history. So first one is advent of Europeans in India, but before this we will be studying about decline of Mughals. And from this decline of Mughals you can expect even mains question of 10 to 15 marker. Okay. So if you are starting reading this modern history by this Bipin Chandra book, that will be starting with this chapter, that is decline of Mughals. So tell me, what are the reasons for this decline of Mughals? Anyone? What are the reasons for decline of Mughals? What are the reasons for this decline of Mughals? I am waiting, students. Tell me, what are the reasons for decline of Mughals? So first one is war of succession. So who will become the king? Right? So wars of succession, and because of policies of Aurangzeb also had a lot of impact on this Mughals, and that is also one important major cause for the decline of this Mughals. And even nobles also played a very important role, and also there is no proper maintenance of treasury, right? Because Shah Jahan he spent lots and lots of amount of money on buildings or architecture, etc., right? So here treasure became empty. And apart from that, Jagirdars also played a very important role. Okay, Jagirdar crisis is also an important reason for this decline of Mughals. And next, you can write about extremist policies of Aurangzeb. Okay, so these are some important things, and even if you see, this Mughal empire was very vast. So because of this vastness also, they got lots and lots of challenges of regional powers, from this regional powers. And at that time what happened, there were also rise of regional powers. Okay, so these are the reasons which are led to this decline of Mughals, right? So this is very important. And after that you will be knowing about advent of Europeans in India. So you have to know the order. So first Portuguese they came, and after that the Dutch, and next one is English, and next one is French. So you will be knowing about PDF, right? So in between you can keep E, okay? PDF in between E. So Portuguese, Dutch, English and French. So this order is also very important. Sometimes this order can be also asked as a prelims question near UPSC. Clear? So from Portuguese, Dutch, English and French, so what you have to learn? You have to learn about locations. So you can take map of India and you can see where these French colonies, English colonies, Dutch colonies and Portuguese colonies they were present. And not only in India, in nearby aspas, you have to know that also. Clear? And you have to know about rivalry between these two, that is English and French. So whenever we are talking about rivalry between English and French, who won? That is ultimately Britishers or Englishers they won. So why this Englishers won? What might be the reasons? So they are having good army, good navy and proper discipline, and even whenever they are selecting the soldiers, so they will be selecting soldiers on their efficiency but not heredity, right? And they have good treasury also, and information and decision making will be very fast in this British compared to the French. So these are the some advantages for this Englishers that led to English supremacy finally. So there you have to know about Anglo-French rivalry, and especially you have to know about Carnatic War. Okay, Carnatic War. So in this modern history, so what you have to focus is, especially before our Indian national movement, you will be coming across many wars. For example, Carnatic Wars. You will be having this Carnatic War, Anglo-Mysore War. Next one is Anglo-Sikh War. Next one is Anglo-Maratha War. So these are the 4 series of wars you will be coming across this modern history. So you have to know place where happened, and you have to know between whom and whom, and what is the outcome or result of that war. And whenever there is any war, so it will be end with a treaty. Okay, so you have to know what is that treaty is all about. And you have to see even TNC, that is terms and conditions of that treaty. Nowadays UPSC is focusing on terms and conditions of that treaty. Okay, for example, there are Treaty of Allahabad, Treaty of Likes-Chapel, like that. You will be having many treaties, you have to know that. Clear? Any more doubts? Anyone? Are you following? Students, online students. Yes, right, or understanding? Okay, so this is the thing that you have to see. And after that, you have to see how British they started expansion. So first of all, they got permission to do trade, that is called as Diwan rights. Okay, so with this Diwan rights, they started trading, especially they started from Bengal. So from Bengal onwards, they started expanding this British power. So here you have to analyze what are the reasons that led to expansion of this British power. So how these Britishers they become a mighty power, and how they started ruling India, how they took over the control. Okay, so there you have to know about divide and rule policy. The first one is they started this divide and rule policy, the first important thing. And apart from that, there are many things came up by Britishers, like we have doctrine of lapse. Okay, we have doctrine of lapse. And next one is we have subsidiary alliance. Like that, the number of things which came up by Britishers, because of that India went into control of Britishers. You have to know what are those exactly, and with that what happened consequently. Okay, and here you have to know subsidiary alliance system. So in 2019 prelims there was question directly regarding the subsidiary alliance system. And next one is you have to see how expansion started. Okay, So here whenever you are reading this history, you have to connect or interlink the events. For example, black hole tragedy, what is this? Okay, why this happened? So why they came with expansion of forts of Britishers? Okay, how the Siraj Dowlah went, and what is this black hole tragedy? After this black hole tragedy, what happened? Okay, so in this way, everything is interconnected in history. Don't skip anything. So it will be like a story. And next one is you have to know doctrine of lapse. So because of this doctrine of lapse, what happened? So it affected which kingdom? Jhansi. And this Rani, that is Lakshmi Bai. Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai, she participated in this revolt of 1857 because this one of this kingdom, it was affected by this doctrine of lapse. So what is this doctrine of lapse? Dalhousie came up with this concept of doctrine of lapse. So according to this doctrine of lapse, if there is any kingdom who is not having their natural heir, then that kingdom will be annexed into Britishers. So at that time actually the Jhansi Rani, okay, so this Jhansi kingdom, so they used to have a small boy, but unfortunately they lost those hair, and they adopted one son, but that adopted son will be not taken into account according to this Dalhousie's doctrine of lapse. So because of that, what happened? They annexed this Jhansi into Britishers, and because of this Rani Lakshmi Bai, she actively participated in this revolt of 1857, and this revolt of 1857 is very important topic, because till now we are considering this 1857 revolt as first war of independence. So what is this? This is first war of independence. You have to know that. Okay, and next one here is you have to know what are the reasons for the rise of this revolt. So here you have to see what are the immediate reasons. So first one is using of fat, that is pig fat for Royal Enfield rifles. And next one is in atta, there was spreading of misinformation, like so this atta which mixed with bone powder. So you have to know what are the immediate reasons and other reasons that led to Sepoy revolt. Okay, so here you have to see what is this reasons. So what are the reasons? The first one, and second one is who participated in this revolt of 1857. You have to see who participated, and you have to see what is the outcome of that so-and-so participant. For example, Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai, she died, but others like Begum Hazrat Mahal, she left. Okay, and you have to see like who are the people participated, and you have to see the place where from they belongs to, and you have to see what was the outcome last. Okay, that is the thing. And apart from that, there is also need of drawing map. So if you draw a map of areas which involved in this revolt of 1857, so you will analyze or you will know that only northern India participated in this revolt but not southern India. So it is a one major drawback of this revolt of 1857. So why it is not much success? Because only northern India part had been participated but not southern India part. Okay, so that is very important. Right, and you have to see what is the outcome. So after this revolt of 1857, there was lots and lots of changes which were made by this Britishers. Okay, so there were changes in provincial administration, there were changes in judiciary, and even there were changes in their soldiers also. So now they increased British to Indian soldiers. Okay, and even they got lots and lots of changes of administration also. So what are they? So those outcomes will be very important for your mains. So you can get directly questioned. And after that we came up with this 1858 Act. Okay, Act of 1858. So this is also very important. And next one is later on you have to study about the economic policies of the British. Okay, economic policies of the British. So, are you following, students? So, if you have any doubts, so please comment in the comment box. Okay, economic policies of the British. So, here we have divided into 3 parts. So, first one is phase of mercantilism, second one is phase of free trade, and third one is financial imperialism. So, you have to know these 3 phases, and these 3 phases are very important from your mains. So, first phase is mercantilism. So, they started trade, okay, trade of what, spices, other goods, etc. And later on what happened, free trade. So, in this free trade what happened, they started taking raw material from India. So, they started taking raw material from India. So, why they need raw material? Because they started IR. So, IR is nothing but industrial revolution. So, after starting of industrial revolution, so they need raw material for industries. So, they all started taking raw material from India, and after that by using industries they produced goods, and now we are calling them as final goods. And these final goods, where they are having the markets? So, they are dumping these final goods in our country. Okay, they are taking raw material, and by using industries and machinery they are making it to final goods, and those final goods again they are dumping in our country. Okay, so this is the second phase. And third one is phase of finance imperialism. So, in this third phase, so they started developing of railways, developing of roads, and developing of telegram, etc. in our telegraph, not telegram, telegraph in our country. So, this are very important for them for easy mobilization of troops, okay, that is the army or soldiers from one place to another place, and easy carrying of goods and easy transportation of arms, right. So, for this they started developing of these things, that comes under finance imperialism. That means they gave the loans, in return we have to pay the money along with interest. Okay. And next one is very important, that is land revenue policy. So, in this land revenues, so we have majorly 3 types. First one is permanent settlement system, next one is Mahalwari system, and next one is Rayatwari system. So, these are the different methods of land revenue policies of Britishers. So, here I will request you to draw a map and see in which region which type of land revenue system is there. So, this is the diagram, okay. And who came up with this permanent land settlement system? That is Lord Cornwallis, clear. And you have to see which area, and here you have to analyze 3 things. First one is region where they imposed, and next one is who came up with which policy, and advantages and disadvantages of each and everything. Like what are the advantages and disadvantages of this permanent land settlement system, advantages and disadvantages of this Mahalwari system and Rayatwari system. So, these are the very important area of UPSC. So, online students, any more doubts? Okay, and next one is you have to know about this drain of wealth theory. So, drain of wealth theory proposed by whom? Any idea? Who proposed this drain of wealth theory? Students, who proposed? Who proposed drain of wealth theory? I am asking you only. Dadabhai Naoroji in his one famous book. So, please let me know that name of book in the comment box. Okay, drain of wealth theory. Okay, so that is also very important, and if you are preparing for other examinations like state service examination, CAPF examination, so you can get question from that is also like what is this drain of wealth theory, who proposed and in which book. And next one is you have to see what is the impact of British administration. So, one thing I said that they took raw materials from our country and they dumped finished goods. So because of dumping of finished goods, that is having impact on our economy. But how? But how? Here we have domestic industries and they are handicrafts, for example. So whenever we are making any products by using hand or handicrafts, so they will be taking more amount of time and comparatively cost is also high. Will you agree with this? But here this finished goods, they are mainly made by using industries, okay, by using industries, by using machines. So whenever we are using machines and industries or like any factories, so factory production, so production will be very huge and even cost will be low and even time taken will be low. So ultimately which product will be getting cheaper, industrial product or handmade? Yes, this industrial product will be less cost. So whenever they are dumping these goods in our country, automatically there is increased demand for this finished goods of this European country. So that here it ruined our handicrafts, our artisans. Clear? Are understanding the things? Any doubts? Okay, so here you have to know about how this industrialization in Europe, which had negative impact on our domestic industries or cottage industries or artisans or handicrafts. And next one is also you have to know impoverishment of peasantry. So peasants are nothing but farmers. Okay, farmers. So what are the problems of farmers during this British period? So they used to grow indigo. So indigo is very important. Indigo is nothing but blue color, blue. Okay, royal blue like that. We will be having some powder and that will be used for the clothes, right? So actually this indigo production or this indigo cultivation used to be done. So whenever this indigo cultivation is followed, so we have thin katiya system. Okay, thin katiya system. So because of this thin katiya system, it is impacting this peasants. And even during that time here, we do not have proper irrigation. We have to depend on rainwater. Okay, rainwater agriculture or rain-fed agriculture. So because of this, here what happened at that time during Britishers, they do not focus on agriculture. They want to collect the taxes by this land revenue policy, but they didn't focus on agriculture. So because of this, many a times famines attacked, and one such famine you have to remember is Bengal famine. So because of that Bengal famine, at that time more than 10 lakh people they died because of hunger. Okay, yes, famines were commonly happened during this British time. Okay, and you have to see what are the problems faced by these farmers. So they have to pay taxes to zamindars or to riots or mahalwaris. Yes, despite of their agriculture produce. You have to see that, and even you will be studying peasant movements. So one such a famous is Mopla rebellion. Okay, and next one is emergence of new land relations, ruin of old zamindars. And in agriculture, they face one problem is stagnation and deterioration, and they move towards commercialization of Indian agriculture. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to see, and how this famine impacted the people and also poverty. And next one is our this thing, that is our 1857. I discussed this 1857 and as well as what are the changes they made after this 1857. So changes were done in several areas that I said, right? That is at the central level, provincial level, local level, and changes in the army, public services, in princely states and foreign policy. So I want to say one thing. So why we need to read about British foreign policy? Why? Any idea? Why we need to read British foreign policy? So if we are talking about British foreign policy here, so British used to have relations with Nepal, Myanmar and Tibet, etc. So I thought this Tibet will follow Buddhism. So Dalai Lama, do you heard this? So always this Dalai Lama is in news. Yes or no? So that Dalai Lama, it is related to our British foreign policy with Tibet. So we have the links with this Tibet. And next one is Nepal. So do you know what is the controversy between India and Nepal recently? They are including which regions? Kala, Pani, Limpiadura and Lipulek regions into their territory. If you go back, East India Company made treaty with Nepal, that is called as Treaty of Sugali. So what is that treaty? Treaty of Sugali. So this Treaty of Sugali, which says that Kali river, it is a boundary between India and Nepal, but this rivers, what happened? They changed the course. Yes, they changed the course. So because of this, now again there is eruption of dispute between India and Nepal regarding boundary. Already we are facing issue with China, Pakistan, again we are having this issue with Nepal. So the roots of this problem goes to this British foreign policy. Our understanding, so whatever the things which are happening now, they have here and there connection with history. So that understanding history is also very important. Are understanding the things or not? Why I am saying? Okay. And next one is development of civil services, because you are going to be the part of civil services. You are preparing for the civil service examination. So you have to know how the civil services had been evolved. So you have to know about Indian Civil Services Act. You have to know about Action Committee on Public Services, what it is saying about, and Montfort Reforms, Lee Commission, Government of India Act of 1935. So if you are writing any answer regarding civil services from the modern history, you have to include all these 5 things, and you have to expand on that what they said, then your job is done. You can write 10 or 15 marker question there itself. And next one is development of education. So I did a lot of research and I kept all the things which are related to the education in this part. So regarding education, we have Charter Act of 1813 and we have Orientalist and as well as Anglist controversy, and we have Thomson Wood Dispatch and Hunter Education Commission, Indian Universities Act, and also we have education policy. Now present we are following this national policy of 2020, right? So earlier we used to have this government resolution on education policy of 1913, and we also have the Sadler Commission. Next one is education under hierarchy. Next one is Hartog Committee, Varda Scheme of Basic Education. Next, Sergan Plan on Education, Kothari Commission, Vernacular Education Development, Technical Education Development, and also British Policy on Education. So all these things which talks about education during this British India time. So you have to know all these things. And next one is press is also very important at that time. So we have our national leaders or freedom fighters. They started their magazines or newspapers. So they started sometimes newspapers on their local language or vernacular language, or they came up with monthly or weekly like that, right? So here at that time onwards, Britishers, they used to suppress this press, because press, it is nothing but the fourth state. It is providing information about government and government policies to the people, and they are trying to create awareness about what are these British policies, how they are exploiting Indians like that. So people are becoming aware about the policies of Britishers through this press. So here Britishers, they started controlling the press, and even this is also relevant today, because in our press freedom index, India is having a very bad rank, and still now also we do not have like 100% of freedom for this press in India. Okay, so you have to connect our present press with this press in 18th century. And next one is, here you have to know about different publications and journals. You have to see publications, journal, and which language by author. Okay, and next one is acts which are related to press, that is Vernacular Press Act, and you have to see about press freedom in India, and even you have to see like after independence, so how this press had been changed. And next one is social religious reforms. Okay, so in this social religious reforms, you have to see reforms for Muslims, Sikhs and Parsis, okay, etc. And you have to see the social reform leaders and their contributions, because from famous personalities, yes, of course you can expect the questions. Yes, you can expect the questions. So for that it is very important. And you have to see some famous personalities like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Swami Vivekananda, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Keshav Chandra Sen, Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, and M.G. Rande, Anne Besant, Syed Ahmed Khan, and B.D. Das, Pandit Rambai Sarojini Naidu, Jyotiba Phule, B.R. Ambedkar. So like that you have to see very important personalities and their contributions, and you have to see their books. So every year you can expect at least one question from this famous personalities in your prelims. And even these personalities will be also helpful when you are writing your ethics, because you can write about the values they had and you can quote them in your ethics as examples from this thinkers part, okay, thinkers. And next one is you have to focus on peasant and tribal movements. So here I want to give you one tip, students. So whenever you are seeing this peasant movements, take map and show the location where exactly these peasant movements happened, and note it down like what are the important points, so that your note making can be done and you can use those maps directly when you are writing an answer. Yes, peasant movements are very important. So what you have to focus, the name of that movement, in which state, who is the leader, and what is the outcome, and what is the issue. That's it. Only these 5 things. Do this, then your work is done. And that is the same for even tribal movements also. And next we have to start our nationalism. So here we can divide it into 3 phases. So first one is our moderate phase. Moderate phase when we started INC, that is from 1885 onwards till 1905, we have this moderate phase, and they follow 3 P's: petition, pardoning and protest. So these 3 are the 3 P's that used to be followed by moderates, but extremists, they will not accept with these moderates, and they say that we should be non-violent. Okay, some important famous personalities of extremists is Lal, Bal, Pal. So these 3 members you can remember. And here you have to see like extremist period from 1905 to 1920, and at that time which all the revolutionary movements happened. You have to know that. Especially revolutionary activities, they are very much active in Bengal and as well as Maharashtra. You have to see what are those. And not only that, even at that time revolutionary activity is, they used to happen apart from India, that is outside of India also. So you have to see those as well. And those activities, how they are impacting Indian national movement or Indian national struggle. So how they are impacting indirectly or directly. And next one is you have to know these events. So the agenda of the day is you have to remember these events. The first one is partition of Bengal. So partition of Bengal by Lord Curzon in year 1905. So why the partition of Bengal? So Bengal was very big state at that time, and one more thing here is, so here this is east part and this is west part. So west part used to be inhabited by Hindus and east part used to be inhabited by Muslims. So they divided, and this is one example of divide and rule policy of Britishers. Okay, so this is an example of divide and rule policy of Britishers. And after this we have the Swadeshi movement in 1906, and later on Muslim League also formed in this 1906. So after that in Surat session of 1907, so we had this Surat split. So what we had? So we had this Surat split, that is extremists and moderates, they had been divided. Okay, moderates and extremists, they had been divided. And next one is we have different acts like 1909 Act, 1919 Act. So those acts that you will be reading in your polity Lakshmikant. So in Polity Lakshmikant, the first chapter itself you will be reading this historical background, right? So there you will be studying each and every act. And next one is you have to know about this Gadar party. So Gadar party came into establishment in year 1913, and later on we have this Komatagamaru incident. So it is also very important ship incident. And next one is Lucknow Pact and Home Rule Movement and August Declaration. So after this, in 1915, yes, Gandhiji came into India from South Africa, and he participated in the first event, that is Champaran Satyagraha in 1917. So Champaran Satyagraha, it is regarding farmers, right, peasants. It is against land revenue policy. And next one is even it is about Teen Katiya system that I said. Next one is Ahmedabad mill strike to increase wages of labor. And this one is Kheda Satyagraha, it is regarding farming. And this one is we had this Government of India Act of 1919 and lots of changes that we came. And after that we had Rowlatt Act to control people, and actually at that time because of this Rowlatt Act, so many people they had gathered in one place. So that time here General O'Dwyer, so he started firing and many people they lost their life. That incident is called as Jallianwala Bagh incident. Okay, Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So after that Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement in 1920 and 22, and after that we have Bardoli resolution and Nagpur session of Congress. And you have to know especially this Simon's Commission. Simon's Commission is very important from your even mains. Okay, from mains also this Simon's Commission is very important. And next one is you have to know about Lahore session. It is very important. And apart from that, Indian national movement in phase 3, we have civil disobedience. Civil means nothing but law. So we are not accepting the laws of British. That is the meaning of civil disobedience movement. It started with Dindi March. And next one is we have 3 roundtable conferences, 1, 2, 3. And from these 3 roundtable conferences, you have to know who are the people who attended this meeting. So whether Gandhiji attended this all meeting or not. Who is the woman who attended all meetings? Okay, like that you have to know, and that way you can expect question. And next one is Gandhi-Irwin Pact of 1931. Next one is you have to know this communal award or Pune Pact of 1932. So it is between Gandhiji and Ambedkar. So it is regarding communal award. Okay, so because of this Pune Pact now they accepted to provide reservation for this vulnerable sections. And next one is you have to know about August offer. So August offer is very important. And next one is what is this two nation theory, Pakistan and India. And after that you have to know what is the demand for this Pakistan. So why Muslim League not accepted for a single undivided India, you have to know that. And you have to know even about Cripps mission, Quit India movement, and even Desai-Lakia Pact is also very important. Next one is Mountbatten Plan. Next one is Indian Independence Act of 1947. So these are the very important topics from your modern history. And apart from that, there is also one bonus to you. That is, you have to see even Governor Generals during our British India. So who is the Governor General of Bengal? Governor Generals of Bengal. And this one is later on the name had been changed. So here there was a very simple question which appeared like, so in which act or through which act Governor General of Bengal changed into Governor General of India. So this is 2023 UPSC prelims question. So you can expect such an easy questions also in your UPSC. Okay. And next one is you have to know Viceroys and Governor Generals of India and their contributions. For example, you have to know about Lord Ripon. Okay. You have to know about Dalhousie, Cornwallis, William Bentinck. Okay, they are very, very important personalities, and what are their positives and what are their negatives. Clear? So this is about micro listing of topics and how you have to approach this modern history. So tell me if you have any doubts. So please tell me your doubts. Is everything clear, students? Online students, any doubts? Yes or no? Please tell me. Is that clear? Is everything clear? Okay, that's all then. So I will be winding up of this class, and the next class I will be dealing with post-independent and world history together. So if I done that, I hope, no, I have to complete even art and culture. So I will be trying to complete this art and culture, world history and post-independent India in the next class, so that I will be covering entire history part. So after history I will be going on to geography. So within 7 days I will be completing this micro listing of topics, and I will give you like full details about what are the topics that you have to see and what is the relevance of those topics in this present year. Clear? So if I complete this micro listing, then only I can move towards Hindu paper, okay, or else I will be not, you will be not getting the things. I cannot take those classes directly, okay. So if I read any title, so if I say, so in which part we can see this topic, you may not understand, right. So if I take this micro listing, then only you can understand, so which article is important and which article is irrelevant. So that classes that we will be taking, don't worry. So within 1 week I will be completing this micro listing of topics for sure. So that's all students. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I will be doing my best, and of online classes will be going to be ended within 2 days. So if you want to take subscription, yes, you can contact us on this number 8074765513. And in online we are giving this course of entire GS prelims cum mains foundation. It is just about 30,000 rupees only, okay. So I think you are seeing the quality of our lectures. So we are providing detailed videos of geography which is taken by Vilas sir, and daily I am taking strategy classes, and next we are giving mains answer writing practice, and even evaluation of this mains answer writing practice is going on, and next is daily we are providing prelims test. So what are the things that I am saying, like we are providing that? Yes, so here you can take the subscription, no problem with that, and even if you can't pay this 30,000 rupees in one go, you can pay in installment as well. So we are providing this installment facility also. So you can contact me on this number, or you can text me on this number, and I will be talking to you directly regarding these courses. Thank you so much students, and I am winding up, and in tomorrow's class we are going to see other topics of history.